book, Murtha, Warfighter, Fighting for the Soul of America. And there's a couple of things I'd like to touch on here. One is how Jack Murtha was, a lot of people knew what he did in the community, but they may not appreciate how pivotal he was in world history when he came out against the war in Iraq. Secondly, touch a little bit on who he was, that he was the only guy who could come out against that war at that time and not be completely marginalized. He was attacked viciously, but he had been such a patriot. He had been to the right of Ronald Reagan and a lot of the Republicans. He was a Democrat, but when they tried to attack him and call him a coward, well, he'd served in Vietnam. He had done all over the world. Anytime there was a conflict with U.S. troops, he was there on the ground checking it out. People used to describe him as a guy who looked at the military from the boots up. Who are the boots on the ground? What are they dealing with? Are they getting the support that they need to do what they need to do, etc. And then the third thing I want to touch on is the sub-theme of the book, Fighting for the Soul of America. I might start with that, get a little out of the order I normally do things, but Jack Murtha, when we were in Iraq, we had the Abu Ghraib prison scandal, where photographs were taken basically torturing Iraqis who were in the prison. And Jack, actually it's one of a couple places where there's a really Fayette County connection. The guy who took the pictures was from Uniontown, if you remember. There was also a story, we actually start the book at Connellsville Hospital, where there was a young gentleman from the Connellsville area who had lost his foot and was blinded in the war in Iraq. And Jack Murtha presented him a Purple Heart on one of his weekly visits to Walter Reed Army Hospital, and then later represented the award at a public ceremony up at Connellsville Hospital, because he was really trying to help this young man get on with his life and maybe even be an inspiration to other veterans. But every time he turned around, the guy would get in trouble. He was blind, but he would start fights in bars. He just had such emotional issues. And Jack tried and tried and tried to help him, and now nobody seems to know where he's gone to. But it's another one of these local stories from here in Fayette County that there's a number of these things that roll through.